Hey, what is going on to the AMC stock family? In today's video, we're going to be talking about a new emergency that has apparently been rising for AMC, and so this is going to be categorized as FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And quite honestly, this is not the news that we need, because as we can see right over here, we have a lot of changes going on throughout these various relevant months for AMC, and so this is relevant to the short interest data. In other words, more institutions, more hedge funds, and more companies, they have decided to sell more shares of AMC over time, and this is represented even further throughout these various charts and graphs. And also, as I just stated, this almost 8% increase for a lot of these hedge funds and institutions. And for them, a 7%, almost 8% increase in the amount of selling shares. These are talking about millions upon millions of dollars for them. But I also must say this, AMC stock family, we cannot have any paper hands. That's why I'm talking about all this. This is not to create even further fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This is trying to stop the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Because once you understand the due diligence a little bit more, you'll be able to block out the external noise that I'm going to be talking about all throughout this video. And Citadel, yes, we are also going to be talking about Citadel because they also have a lot to do with this institutional shorting of AMC Entertainment. Let's get into it. We see that right off the bat, there is this new LLC or this company, and this was reported on August 17th of 2021. Now we are in September. So this was reported throughout maybe the middle to end of August, and now we are in the just beginnings of September. And so over here, we see that their position of change, and remember, this is the short interest. This is not their buying position. We can understand that this is a 1,534.7% increase in the amount of change they have towards selling AMC. In other words, they are selling AMC much, much more. They used to have 21,300 shares shorted. Now they have 348,200 shares shorted. Why are they doing this? Well, they are not alone. In some of the previous videos, we talked about this, so I'm not going to talk about it too much because that'll be invaluable to your time. But over here, we have on August 12th of 2021, this is a little beforehand, but this is Simplex Trading LLC. And remember, we did talk about this before, but very briefly, they used to have 31,928 shares shorted. Now they have 14,218,900 shares shorted for AMC, and this is a 44,434.3% increase in their total position size. Now, we don't know their average cost basis, and we don't know why they're doing this. And we also have an even more pattern to go off of, and this is going to be from Citadel. So Citadel Advisors LLC, we have another company that also reported on August 17th of 2021, and remember, they have to tell us what they are reporting. If they don't tell us that, then they are not going to be complying with the SEC. And so this is why they're even talking about it in the first place. And this is why we at least know somewhat of whether they are selling or buying AMC. Because if they didn't, then that would go against the SEC rules. So thankfully, we know this much. And so with this due diligence, we can understand that their previous shares shorted was about 5.6 million shares. The exact numbers right here, 5,676,200 shares sold. Now we have 8.4 million shares sold, or in other words, 8,406,600 shares sold. And this is an increase of almost 50%, of their total position in just one underlying equity, AMC. And so with a almost 50% increase in change about whether they are buying or selling AMC, and in this case we know that they are selling because at the top it actually does say institutional investors shorting AMC Entertainment, or in other words AMC. Now the questions that we must ask ourselves are, why are these institutions doing this in the first place? There are a lot of answers to this, and sometimes it may just be as simple as they don't believe in the AMC stock movement whatsoever. My question to them would be, how are you going to doubt the AMC movement and the AMC investors when we have, on average, 90.2 million shares as a daily volume? The daily volume only. Let's compare this to Netflix, because Netflix is currently a $600 stock, I believe. It may be around the high 500s, and with Netflix stock, I want to understand how much volume there is for Netflix, because as I just stated, this is a $600 stock right now, or just under $600, and so the volume on Netflix stock is actually just 4 million. Just 4 million for the average volume on a day-to-day basis. And this is actually a volume percentage change of 20%. So they are actually representing this as good and positive. That's why they have the green arrow symbol going up, and this is a 20% increase in the volume. So that means that the normal daily average for Netflix is actually lower than 4 million. So if we are comparing 4 million to the 90 million that we understand from AMC, then that means that why would all these hedge funds start doubting AMC if there is so much more volume coming in for this only one underlying equity? And as just stated, that'll be AMC. I just want to quickly understand what the average volume is for GameStop though, because GameStop, the price of that is also higher, but we we also understand that the float of GameStop is actually much lower, which allows there to be less supply, and therefore if there's even a little bit more investors, that allows the probability of a short squeeze to happen much more. And the volume, look at this AMC stock family, only at 3 million. And you're telling me that this is a $190 stock, which no problem with that. GameStop and AMC, they're actually in the same category and in the same boat. But I do hear the argument sometimes that why is AMC not higher than GameStop? And the answer is quite simple. That is because of their float difference. GameStop has a much lower float compared to AMC, as I just stated. AMC also went through a lot of dilutions, causing there to be even more shares outstanding. And GameStop has always had less shares outstanding, but take a look at the volume. In no way am I trying to say that GameStop is bad whatsoever. I actually believe that AMC and GameStop, they can actually be hedged throughout the market, and so when the entire market decides to go down in share price, these are the two stocks that a lot of investors are looking at right now, because many are saying that these two stocks will be the winners. However, take a look at the volume. 3 million shares traded on a day-to-day basis for their volume. And this has actually changed, so usually it is 7% higher than this 3 million, but on the day, which was Friday, which was the previous closing price, it actually ended up closing 7% lower than the average volume. And how else is Citadel trying to trick a lot of investors? Because they have an estimated 50% increase on their selling position for AMC, yet not a lot of people know why. But we do know that there is actually so much more strength, so much more resilience in a stock like AMC, that it just makes this whole situation much more confusing, because on one side, Citadel is selling AMC, whereas on the other side, AMC has one of the most highest amount of volume on a day-to-day basis, consistently and consecutively. Now let's talk about this new article that says, is Robinhood stock a buy right now, as the SEC considers ban on payment for order flow? Now remember, Robinhood is connected to Citadel, and so let's try to understand, does Investors Business Daily think that Robinhood stock is a buy right now? And so from here, we can understand how this will affect Citadel, because if Robinhood decides to go down, that affects the share price, and if the share price goes down, this will affect those that are invested in Robinhood. And Citadel and Robinhood, they are both invested in each other. Now Robinhood, ticker symbol HOOD, is a popular stock market trading app among young and first-time investors and traders. After the company's hyped IPO on July 22nd, is Robinhood stock a buy in the current stock market rally? Now I'm not going to read all this throughout the video because that'll be invaluable to your time, but let's go ahead and just quickly understand some major important points. And so if we go all the way down, we can understand, is Robinhood stock a buy right now? Well, Investors Business Daily says that Robinhood stock is one of the top IPO stocks to watch in the current stock market rally. The company boasts huge sales growth in recent quarters, and the company's potential is encouraging amid the surging popularity of stock trading among young investors. Shares are far from their post-IPO highs, and there is no current buy point. So the stock is not a buy right now. Wait for the stock to form its first base, which would offer an initial buying point. Well, let me just tell you something, AMC stock family. Investors Business Daily, they rated AMC a buy point above $48 a share, around the $40 share price. And now AMC is higher than that $40 share price range. However, Robinhood is most certainly not a buy point for Investors Business Daily or IBD, as the chart clearly shows that there has been a significant downfall in the price. We do not see this for AMC. AMC is actually one of the only winners throughout this entire market year. This tells you that there is more strength, there is more resilience, and that the AMC movement should not be doubted. Yet many people, they still continue to doubt AMC, including those like Citadel and including other hedge funds. So remember, Robinhood, the chart continues to go down and there has been no base point just yet. However, if we go back to AMC, which we can see that GameStop has even more of a base, has more of a solid paradigm than Robinhood, because the Robinhood price continuously fell, whereas GameStop, at least it has some sort of a basing point. Now if we go back to AMC, let's see AMC's basing point. And when you take a look at that, we don't need to understand the support or the resistance levels just right now, because we can understand that the price continues to go up. And actually, right after the IBD alert saying that AMC was a buy point above $45 to $48 a share, price is just about hovering around that $50 share price range. So if IBD is bullish on AMC above that $40 share range, that probably means that they think that AMC will have a continuation in the increase in share price. Not only that though, because AMC did have its consolidation zone. This was actually a box that we talked about a lot in this channel. However, as soon as it broke out of that box, we have an insane uptrend to the upside. And again, this is nowhere near similar to the trading chart on Robinhood. Now with that being said, AMC stock family, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.